Okay, so there's some vicious rumor that I was going to start off this video naked or showing off my crotch or something. So instead, I decided to give you a picture of me from like 1993 when I met the sexy Gordon Elliott. He was a talk show host back then, and now he does cooking shows and stuff. And that's me, looking like a little kid with long hair. Look how long my hair was. Holy crap. Anyway, Gordon Elliott is sexy. And, you know, I would never, ever get naked on the internet. Ever, or show my crotch. Well, not for free.
On the bottom, on the top, belly to belly, and we just don't stop. On the left, on the right, I wanna woof all night. On the bottom, on the top, belly to belly, and we just don't stop. On the left, on the right, I wanna woof all night.
Okay, so I don't want to turn this video into like an hour-long ordeal. I want to do this quickly as possible because you guys don't understand how much I struggle making videos. It might look smooth and well put together, but that's because I do like 1,000 takes. You know, I'm like starting over and stopping the camera in the middle and getting lost and having to start over again, or I don't like the angle or I don't like the lighting. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm like a stupid perfectionist, and it still doesn't come out the way I want it like 95% of the time. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that today. All right, so the question of the week is from Vincent, our sexy Monday bear. And he says, accidents happen. What are the most boneheaded or entertaining ways you have managed to hurt yourself? Well, I've got a couple. I guess they're not like super boneheaded and they're not super entertaining, but I did hurt myself. One that stands out is when I was in high school. I decided to try and jump a really long ditch. And I didn't make it and ended up fracturing both my ankles. So I couldn't like walk or anything. I had like 2 crutches. And I would like, you know, it was just stupid. I looked like a fool and it hurt really bad. But, you know, since then I've been more careful about jumping ditches, you know. Another way that I have actually hurt myself was one time in this neighborhood that I lived in, I decided that I was going to go running around naked at nighttime and seeing if I could avoid being caught. Don't ask. Well, you know, that's for another video. But anyway, the point is that I was naked, I was heading down to the beach, and I had walked like 5 or 6 blocks, and saw some cars coming by. I had to cross a major intersection with no clothes. Why did I do that? I don't know, it was kind of hot though. But anyway, so I did it, and I tripped naked and fell into bushes, and got scratched up pretty bad. So I'm sure that was pretty entertaining for other people. I think one guy saw me running back to my house. The guy was like walking his dog or something, taking the trash out. So I'm pretty sure he was wondering what the fuck I was doing running around naked at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Alrighty, so those are my entertaining ways that I hurt myself, and I'm sure they were more entertaining for other people than they were for me. So we're supposed to talk about our favorite movies or books. I have a lot of books that I read when I was younger that I don't necessarily remember the titles. Most of them were just your like run-of-the-mill kid books, like Chronicles of Narnia, you know, all the different series of that. So I'm going to show you my favorite movies. One of them I don't have on DVD because I have it on TiVo and I can just watch it when I want, and that's Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts. And out of all the movies I'm going to show you, that's probably the most gay of all of them. Like, you know, people are probably like, oh, you like Pretty Woman, you must be gay, kind of thing. I know it's stereotypical and I shouldn't say that, but what the fuck? I mean, it's probably true. Okay, so here are my favorite movies in no particular order. I just picked up like my favorites and it ended up being 5 DVDs, not counting Pretty Woman. So I guess that's 6. Alright, here we go. The first one I'm going to show you is a movie called Hackers. You can't really see that. Hackers, there we go. Is that better lighting? Hackers, I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, Hackers. It came out in the 90s. It was a really good movie. It had Angelina Jolie in it, and I believe that was the first time I'd ever seen her in a film. I don't know if it was her first film, but it was the first time I'd ever seen her. And it was a movie. It was kind of like it showed hacking in a way that a lot of people say it was unrealistic because of the way the scenes were set up. You know, it wasn't like a real computer. But I don't think that was the purpose. I think the film wanted to sort of like be a little bit more artistic and a little more literal with the representations of the way hacking is inside of a computer. to make it entertaining. So they did it that way, and I think they did a good job. It's a great movie. Okay, next movie, Purple Rain with Prince. I'm a huge Prince fan. I know some people, Prince, you either love him or you hate him, okay? And I'm not going to try to convince anybody to like him. If you don't like him, you don't like him. But I love him. I love pretty much everything he's done, with the exception of like a couple of albums in the early 2000s. But Purple Rain is one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's sort of like, I don't know, is it a cult film? It might be a cult film. I don't know. I love it. So, fuck what you heard. Let's see. Then I'm gonna show you this first. There's a French animated film called Fantastic Planet, and that is the American name for it. The French name is something I can't pronounce because I don't speak French. And the guy that did it is a guy named René Laloux. Laloux, I think that's how it is. Laloux. Laloux. Is that right? Does anybody know French? I don't know. Anyway, it's a French film, and it's probably one of the craziest movies I've ever seen. It's called Fantastic Planet. You can look it up. It's all over YouTube. Just type in Fantastic Planet, and I'm sure you'll find it. But I'm telling you right now, it is the craziest fucking movie that you're ever going to see. And I mean crazy in the sense of, like, really crazy. But the art style has never been really used in any other films except for most of his work. So, yeah, check that out. All right, the next movie is Interview with a Vampire. I love this movie. There's nothing about this movie I don't like. I like every single bit of it. I like Brad Pitt and I like Tom Cruise. I like Antonio Banderas. Christian Slater. It was a great film. Great film. I have a vampire fetish. I love vampires. Like, if there was any way in real life that I could be a vampire, I would totally do it because, I don't know, well, unless they're like the Nosferatu vampire where they're like old and decrepit, or whatever. If they're like sexy vampires like this, then yeah, sign me up. Alright, the last movie, my favorite movie, is The Matrix. The first one with Keanu Reeves in it, of course, everybody knows, the Matrix trilogy. I like the whole trilogy, but my favorite is the first film because it, it shows a progression. Takes them from a nobody to a somebody, and I think that's kind of cool. The other two films are really good. I could say that Reloaded and Revolutions. I mean, obviously my name is Eric's Reloaded. They were both great films. But that's more of like, he's a really cool superhero now, and that's what these movies are about. But the first film is the struggle, and I like the idea of the struggle. So, yeah, I love the first film. First film was great. So anyway, those are some of my favorite movies, and whatever. Keep it moving.